Okay, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're tackling how you can get to £20,000 per month as an online coach, as a personal trainer, whatever. And the reason I want to share this is because I've spent over 120,000 over the last 4 or 5 years on business courses, mentorships, masterminds, and agencies. So I've basically took it all and I've went, right, what are they teaching? What's their agenda? Now everybody puts a little spin on it, but ultimately it's these things here. It's these 30 things that they use. Some of them say that their thing's better than others, when really it's just this. And this was a turning point for me because I went to Funnel Hacking Live in Florida and I saw a framework and I was like, they've basically just taken all the frameworks for the last 10 years and put it into and organised it. So I've done this, but I've done it for personal trainers, online coaches and gym owners. So let's get stuck into it. So first things first, by the way, and this is in no particular order, right, is email newsletter. So if you're not familiar with what an email newsletter is, it's just you sending out emails like a proper newspaper, but you send them out via email every week, up to sort of 3-4 times per week. Ideally, you send this newsletter out with a bit of a theme to it. You send it out just to build rapport and build trust with your audience and just give them value, give them something to read every day that's about their journey. It's kind of target market specific so that they can see it and they can get value from you so that the day they finally decide to get a coach, they come to you. If you're only doing this sporadically, which most people are, get an actual consistent theme with it so that people expect it, okay? The next one's the weekly memo, which is kind of like the newsletter, but the reason I put it separately is because the newsletter and the memo can work together. So for example, we have the MRR memo every single Saturday that goes out, and it has done for the last year. And my audience can come to expect this memo, and it has a set structure to it. So like if you're sending out newsletters about clients and all this sort of stuff, big lessons, great. But the memo has to be set in stone. It has to be straight. If you think of like turning Sky Sports News on a Saturday, it's Soccer Saturday, there's an exact setup. So you should have a memo that does that as well, because actually the newsletter is great, but the memo is the thing that really drives behaviour and it really drives people to click on your thing or sign up with you, right? So that's the weekly memo. And then we have expect a reply, which I've put in brackets here, SPEAR. So the expected reply is just a tactic that's been about for marketing for ages, and the SPEAR aspect is short, personable, and expecting a reply. Now, the reason you expect a reply is because it's so simple, it's quite vague, but it's also it strikes curiosity into people. So how this looks is kind of like the basic version of it is, hey name, it's an email you'd send out, hey name, in April I'm getting together 5 females who are looking to drop 20 pounds. It's a small group. How you know you're a fit is if you're coachable, you're likable, you want to work hard, just reply, I'm in, if you want the details. And it's really short, really vague for a reason. It gets a lot of replies, that's why it's called expected reply. Now that doesn't mean they're ready to buy and stuff like that, they just want more information, but I would rather have a bigger pond to fish from than a small pond when I don't like, and I would rather find the fish than a small pond that only has a couple of fish in it. So that's what the expect reply does. It just kind of casts a big wide net and you get a lot of replies with this. So it's a very good tactic when you deploy it every month. The next one is another sort of, I would say, monthly strategy, which is the re-offer strategy. Now this is for when you get people who in the month don't close, they don't go through with your program. So these are people that you have spoke to on a call, maybe on the 10th, the 12th, the 15th, whatever. And the most common objections really are affordability, price, commitment length, time, whatever. With this re-offer strategy, you can tweak the message. So let's say a perfect example here is you have a call on the 10th of the month, someone doesn't close, they either go out to the big bad world and sign up with someone else, or at the end of the month, you create a re-offer strategy where you basically pitch them what you pitched them in the past, but you have the time commitment. If their objection was time commitment, it's like, really, I really can't commit to that just now. Let's say you pitch 12 months, pitch them 6 months, but the offer ends today. And this will clean up like 20-30% of your leads that are sitting there who never closed. So the re-offer strategy is a game changer as long as you make it personal. Next is paid ads, and this is specific to programming leads. So running paid ads directly to your program, whether that's like a survey or an application form, pretty self-explanatory. Or you run paid ads to get leads. So you just put something up there. Maybe it's like a carousel, maybe it's a piece of value that you give away to get leads. And so these people come in and they go in your automations, like your newsletter and your memo. So you can run ads directly to get leads every single day, okay? Next is we have a lead magnet, very similar to that, but Lead magnet has been about for a long, long time. It's just basically a piece of value that you give to someone in exchange for their information. So you can, because lead magnets have been about a long time, people are making really, really shit ones. So you need to put a bit of effort into it, make sure it's valuable, but they still work very, very well, especially when you create something that you know your target market want. It's easy to digest, put it out there, and then you build a massive list that you can then sell to. So it's very valuable. Next is an audiobook, which is kind of like a lead magnet, but this is something not a lot of people do. They don't do audiobooks, they do podcasts and all these things, but everyone does podcasts. If you think of like Joe Rogan and stuff and Diary of a CEO, you put a podcast out competing against these people. You're competing against them on the discovery page. Whereas if you create an audiobook that's private behind like someone has to like give their information to get it, you're competing with no one. Plus, if you record this yourself, it's your voice delivering an audiobook to your market. I cannot believe how many people don't do this. Like, we've had 3 or 4 coaches that went all in on this, and it's done very, very well. So, audiobook. The next one is guides, which is similar to lead magnets, but these are just guides that you can give away, obviously in exchange for information, but these guides are usually what your clients already have. So, eating out guides, all that sort of stuff. These are valuable. They work well, really well for some target markets, and they don't work so well for others. So just a simple guide. Obviously, the less high value it is, the less high value people you're probably going to attract. Next is Rig Your Resources, which is kind of all of these combined. Rig Your Resources is our way of like basically taking what you have. It's not a lead magnet. It kind of gets leads, but it's not a lead magnet where you just throw something together and give them it. Rig Your Resources where you take actually one of your fundamental trainings in your service, and you maybe like trim it down a little bit and make it lead specific. So for example, we have MRR subscriptions that we invented. I wouldn't just give that to a prospect. What I'll do is I'll recreate the training and make it more towards the prospect, and I can also throw in a bit of a pitch there. So Rig Your Resources essentially take your resource, rig them, change them, so that it's prospect specific, and put it out there and watch these people get actual value from a lead magnet. The problem with lead magnets is it gathers internet dust. A Rig Your Resource is something they can apply right now. It's short, it's actionable, and they're like, wow, this is actually very, very good. Why did they give us away that for free? And that's when you Rig Your Resource. Set up an automation on ManyChat or whatever, put it out there on the internet, get people to opt in with a keyword and let it happen in the background for you. Next is a free community group. So you can have like school, WhatsApp, Facebook, whatever, just launching a free group whereby if you have leads for ads or whatever and they don't close, they don't want to book calls because they're not ready yet, put them in a free group and nurture them there. That's pretty much what a free group is. It's a lead gen group to keep building rapport, okay? Next, we have a paid or a free challenge. So just as it sounds, you run a paid challenge for people to opt in. Maybe it's a 7-day, 21-day, 30-day fat loss challenge or whatever, themed challenge, where you get them to opt in. It's either free or they pay for it. Now, obviously, if it's free, you'll get loads opting in, but you'll get less probably buyers with intent. If it's paid, then you may get less people, but people who have actually got intent because they've got their card out. We've tried both. We found that the paid one works best, and I'm not talking a lot of money here, I'm just talking enough to get them to opt in. And the purpose of these challenges is that you get everybody in, you change their behaviours, get them a return on investment tight in. If it's the free one, it's their time, paid one, it's their money, and you get them a quick result, and then you pitch to them at the end of it to try and keep clients. Now you can run these every season, periodically, and get these people in these seasons. So like a summer one, a winter one, back to school one, and these can add quite a lot of money to your top line. Okay, then we have goal specific and workshop. I'll cover these two together. So you can run a goal specific event. Now this could be like drop 5 kg in 5 weeks. It could be a workshop where you deep dive into more the thing that's your USP. So for me, for example, I would do a workshop around MRR, how you can, understand your full recurring revenue, how to track your MRR, what the 10 pillars of MRR actually are. So I can do a deep dive. Workshop, workshop's more of a get your hands dirty, roll up your sleeves and let's do it live, let's create the thing and let's get it out there. Just a more of a live thing that you can do with your prospects. Now, for some target markets, it won't really work. It's a little more businessy, but for some, it will be amazing. Next, we have the most unreal present ever, which is just effectively our way of creating such a good lead magnet and such a good course or whatever that you give away. And it's so good that your prospects can't believe you're giving it away. That's why it's called the most unreal present ever. Now, I learned this from Russell Brunson. He had a thing where you stack all this stuff up, and then basically, if they opt in for all of that stuff for free, In 30 days time, it starts your recurring program. So it's like a bribe basically for them to try out all your stuff and then join your program. And it's not a bribe as such in a bad way. It's like they get ridiculous value for 30 days. And this has probably got like 4,000 or 5,000 leads for our coaches since we've ran it. Next is a YouTube niche channel. Now, one thing I should have said at the start of this is like you can't do all of these strategies at once, right? So don't think, Chris, I want to get to 20k, I'm going to try all of this, because you're just going to end up burnt out and you're going to be all over the place, right? So you need to categorize each of these which could move the needle most in your specific business. And this is why I said this at the niche YouTube channel, because there's a lot of people starting YouTube and they don't even have time to deliver a good service, let alone start a YouTube channel. But if you do have the time and you have some people around you that you can help, then start a YouTube niche channel, but it has to be niche around your USP. So for me, for example, everything about my business, about this YouTube channel is around fitness businesses, gyms and online coaches for MRR. That's the niche there. Now, will I get a lot of people clicking on and watching it? No, but I'll get real buyers, real prospects who watch my stuff and eventually want to join my program. So you can do that too with a niche channel. Podcast is next. You know what a podcast is, I don't have to explain it too much, but starting a podcast where you are able to build rapport with people, very similar to emails and all that good stuff. You can go deeper into topics, which if that's the type of person you are, then you'll enjoy it more than a 30-second reel, for example. Then we have the Dream 100, which is a strategy whereby you look at your target market and you look at their journey from like where they are now all the way to like their dream life. And so for me, for example, as a fitness business coach or a marketing agency, we would look at like personal trainers are our ideal clients. So when they start out, they qualify the level 3 and then they want to get their first 10 clients. So we have a program for that. And then after that, they want to get to the next level. They want to go from 3K to 6K, 7K. We have a program for that. And then we have a program for that next stage. So if we're not covering it, it's where else can we collaborate with people for this Dream 100? And essentially we could collaborate with people who qualify PTs, for example. That's my Dream 100. So what I'm basically doing is looking at other businesses where our market use them. So for example, for you, if you're an online coach, you would want to collaborate with, in your Dream 100, with massage therapists, maybe local coffee shops if you're a gym, all these places that have your market. It's essentially any business that also has your market. You want to collaborate with them and create this Dream 100 list where you can get on the podcast, collaborate with them, all these types of things. And you can get on the pages. Next is collaborating with clients, CWC. So that's just basically you collaborating with your clients on social media so that you can get exposed to their audience. Nowadays, with trust being so low, if you can get a client to show your page to all their followers, it's a big trust thing there. So if we can do that, I don't know if we were to do that 6 times a quarter with your clients, you create the posts, tell a story. It doesn't necessarily have to be a before and after. You will get in front of the audience, and this can be a killer for you, for your growth on social media as well. Collaborate with companies, very similar. In this case, it would just be actually collaborating with local companies. You know, don't just sit there and get a discount code put in your bio for the sake of it. I'm talking actual collaborate. So the best way to do this is like message all your clients and ask them if there's a possibility that you can collaborate with their work. So you can go in, deliver a talk, get authority pictures, you know, push yourself out your comfort zone. But ultimately tap into that office and try and sign up the people. Like that's the whole point of it. Now this is especially true for in-person coaches. Like you should be collaborating with every company in your area as a gym owner or as a in-person coach. Like you should have spoke to them all, try and get to their HR team, their admin team or whatever, speak to them and try and get some sort of thing going. Well, even if it's like a Saturday class or whatever, doesn't matter. Right, next is shorts. So Instagram, TikTok, whatever your shorts method is, posting shorts is obviously going to be a good way to grow your business. Obviously, everybody puts an emphasis on this, but you can now see all the strategies. Personally, that's my least favourite is shorts because it's just a minefield of dopamine-crazed people that I can't be bothered with. So I prefer a lot of the other strategies. But for some people, their personality and stuff, shorts is going to work well. Next up, we have the DM strategy. So a strategy for where you send DMs, you track it, you have a strategy for warming people up, you have a strategy for ultimately getting them on a call to sign them up. Because contrary to popular belief, like if you're using Instagram, a free app, and you're posting free content, you're going to have to sell at some point, otherwise you're just running a charity. So you have to have a proper DM strategy in place. Next is a dream client funnel that we call it, and it's essentially a funnel designed that if you have all of this stuff, where is it all pointing to? Where is that? Like, what's in the podcast description? Where is it all going? Is it going to? It needs to go to somewhere where you say, "Hey, thanks for coming on this page. It means you're this type of person and you need this result. Here's the page. And it has high converting copy on it that gets them to book a call or sign up to you. That's a dream client funnel. Next is a scorecard. So a way for you in the DMs and stuff like that, or even just in your email list, to gamify prospecting. So obviously prospecting can be quite daunting for some people, but if you can gamify it, so like for us, for example, we have the 10 pillars of MRR and we have an audit where we put prospects through it, and it allows them to see the gaps in their business and where they're struggling. And we can say, look, we would recommend X, Y, Z to fix that. And they go, okay, cool. It seems like these guys have actually got the solution. You can do that too for your market as well. Send them it. They'll feel like it's fun. It's a bit more fun than you saying, what are you struggling with? That type of thing. So that's the scorecard, right? Appointment engine, very similar to the dream client funnel because it's just after it. Dream client funnel gets them in to book. When they're booked in, this is where you need to have an appointment engine to make sure these people show up, to make sure you can close them on the call, because a lot of people can get eyeballs, get attention, but they don't know how to work that sales process with the appointment engine. Especially when you're running ads, you need to have a proper appointment engine. Next is make sure you have a recurring tier, obviously. So you have 2 recurring programs, your main one and your secondary one. Now for a lot of people, it will depend where you start, if it's lower tier or higher tier to start with. I would always just go with one at first, but once you start to have all these things in place, you'll need a secondary recurring program. Next is what I call the Clean Up Your City campaign. Now this is a campaign that we run for coaches when they just kind of start with us. Online coaches, they try and be an online coach. They try and sell to people in the world wide. And it's like, look, there is people who relate to you the most. They've got the same accent as you. They know you, they trust you. They know you're down the road, so you're not going to steal money from them. It works for them. Clean up your city, get very, very well known in your city first, and then you can branch out and stuff. For in-person people, it's really simple. We run a campaign for in the local area for you to make sure these people who are local to you are chapping your door going, hi, I need to get your stuff. That's the Clean Up Your City campaign, very powerful. Then we have local event. So again, if you're an online coach or a gym owner, like you need to run local events. It doesn't have to be all the time, it can be twice a year. But get the companies near you and stuff, get a hall hired and go and deliver a local event. Raise your authority, just gets you out from regular coaching stuff as well. And I've seen people kill this with local events, like people wait behind, they sign them up on the spot. You can make a couple more £1,000 per month, per year, just adding local events. Then we have the win-win referral campaign, which is essentially making sure you have a referral campaign that has a consistency to it. So if you set up a campaign that makes, this is the perfect referral campaign, by the way, you win because you get a client. The client who you've got currently wins because they get money from it. And the new client that they've referred to them, they win because they get money off. And you need to make sure you ask for this every quarter. Don't just wait once every 2 years or whatever. Clients will give you referrals and stuff like that, but it will dry up. You need to force this behaviour because again, it can add a couple more thousand every quarter to your business. Second last, we have retargeting ads, which I know it's a little bit separate from paid ads, but retargeting ads are again one of the biggest wins that we get from our coaches as soon as they start with us. We get them to run retargeting ads. It's basically just a big bucket of warm people ready to be shown an offer, and we show them that offer and they say, yes, thanks, I've been waiting to reach out. It's a win-win. And last but not least, we have the Loom offer, which is essentially you creating a video around this very specific offer page that's well designed. You read it out via Loom, you present it, you show your personality. And for those who just don't want to get in a call, you just send them that offer and they can either buy it or not. And it allows for you just to give it to the people who just aren't prepared to get on a call. So what's the point in losing them? We may as well give them an option. And that's it. One big breath. We have 30 strategies for you to get to 20k per month as an online coach. I'd love to know. Any questions, get yourself in the chat box. I know that I was just giving you the high level view of each of these, but hopefully I've explained that enough. Remember, you can't do all of these at once. I have some clients trying to do that. Pick and choose which one's going to move the needle for you. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Speak soon.